Todd here with the Amptweaker Tight Metal Pro. Let's get into it. This is a very cool pedal. It's got 3 different effects loops on it. So the first one is on the side over here called the Sidetrack Loop. Now what that does is when you're bypassing the pedal, it sends the signal through that loop. Right now I've got it going through a chorus pedal. So if we disable the pedal, now it's going through the chorus. Goes straight to the chorus. Go through anything really. So you could make this the center of your pedal board and use it like a preamp, really, instead of a regular preamp or a regular amp. Right now I'm going straight from here, and the main output is going to a power amp and going to a cabinet. So it's acting like the preamp in a head, in an amp. And it sounds really darn good. So clean is going to here, all right? The second loop, which is basically sort of the dirty channel 1, is going out to a Tube Screamer clone. It's a Tube Screamer clone on the pedal board here. So when you go to basically your rhythm channel, plenty of gain there. I'm using the Tube Screamer just as a clean boost. Distortions at 0, levels about 3. So coming out of the universal loop, okay, going into the Tube Screamer. Now the boost channel, which these light up when you hit the boost channel, both of them. The boost channel has its own loop. So back here, coming out of the effects loop for the boost channel, it even says boost loop, going into a little EQ pedal. Okay? So I'm using this guy as basically a preamp with 3 different loops for clean, rhythm, and lead. Each one's got its own effect on it, which is pretty darn handy. So here's a little bit of the boost channel. It's just as mean as anything you can imagine. Sounds a lot and behaves a lot like a 5150 preamp section, which is not an accident because this was designed by the guy that designed the 5150. So if you are looking for a way to get sort of a really heavy tone without having to buy and lug around a 5150, well, you can just get this pedal, throw it in your kit, and be good to go. And use your clean channel effects, your rhythm channel effects, and your lead channel effects. The boost is basically the lead channel, all in one device. Now, you don't need all this extra stuff that I'm putting on it. You really don't. Coming out of here, I'm boosting the rhythm channel. You don't really need to do that. It sounds great without that. You can see that in my other video, which I'll link here. I'm using an EQ with a sort of a smiley face, sort of the John Petrucci smiley face that he puts on his Mesa EQ on the lead channel, but honestly you could get by without that too. You could just buy this. This and a power amp of some kind. Anything, a PA head, anything, doesn't matter. And you're ready to go. You're there. And I gotta say, it's pretty handy and portable. I mean, it doesn't weigh but a pound or 2, so it's pretty easy to tote it around. All you really need is the power amp, and you've got a portable rig. Now, sure, you could go get a 5150 type head, but then you got to lug it everywhere. And I mean, God bless you if that's cool. I'm a little past that point. I don't want to lug crap everywhere I go. So I really appreciate how small this is, how much tone he has shoved into a very tiny package. The Amptweaker Tight Metal Pro. Just a ton of tone in a little box. Very cool.